So unlike cases for smartphones, a lot of times with peripherals, mainly watches, even from Samsung and Apple, it takes a while for manufacturers to make add-on devices, accessories for them. Most of the time it's because the demand is not as much as a smartphone. So there has finally been some companies that have released accessories for the Google Pixel Watch. And in today's video, I'm going to run through those real quick and show you some options, some bands, and some extra protection you can add to your watch. All right, here we go. One I may have already opened, and one I actually already have on. So let's go through this bad boy first. So if you're looking for a really rugged device with a nice interlocking clasp on it, this is from the makers of SupCase. They make a lot of more rugged base cases for smartphones, but we can see here it is essentially a whole housing. Their item does show for an iPhone, but it's the same concept. You pop the oval piece or the main watch itself out underneath, you push it through, and the only thing I had problems with was right here aligning the crown. Just due to the thickness of the case, I had a little bit of issue lining up the crown, but as we can see, it is nice and sturdy. Very good plastic. It is nice and breathable still, but it is very rugged. There is definitely, as you can tell, there's quite a bit of an indentation between the case and the screen. So I really don't think you'll have any problems with keeping this safe. This is good if you're looking for a more rugged G-Shock type watch. This is a great alternative instead. And it just makes your watch seem bigger than what it is, since some may not like the size that Google released for these watches. Next up is Caseology. I really like this one. It's kind of like the SupCase, but just more just average sport watch. But I really like this for working out. It's a really nice base plastic. It's kind of like a nylon almost, but it comes in two colors. It comes in this almost black and blue ring, or a lighter navy blue and orange. It just depends on what your preference is, but I really like this one. So both of these are quite similar in how they pop in and out. So I'm going to kind of demonstrate this real quick. So with this, I would just push in. There you go. Now you've got the actual watch itself. And this one, you can see, only has a one clamp or clasp on it, as opposed to the more rugged one, which had two. But this is really nice and light as well, so it's still pretty breathable, especially if you sweat a lot during the workouts. But just like the other one, I like this one a lot because it's fully protecting the device as well. And we can see that we still have access to the buttons. The only thing that I don't like on this one that is a little bit better on the SupCase is we can see that the crown is now not too great for rotating. Obviously the menus are still touch sensitive and can scroll up and down on it, but with this you won't be able to use the crown as good. You can still rotate it, as you can see I'm kind of doing here. It just won't be as great. So keep that in mind. If you really like rotating the crown, this might not be a fit for you, or maybe you just want to use it when you're working out so you have the extra protection. And just like the other case, we can tell that it has a pretty good lip around the screen to help protect from scratches directly on the screen or around the curve of the crown itself or the watch. But speaking of watches and screen protectors, this is probably the best one that I've found. This is the first company, Ringke, I hope I'm saying that right. They are the first ones that actually released cases, watch bands, and case protectors for the Pixel. They probably released them about in the first month, but I was waiting for the announcement from these other companies like SupCase and Spigen, one of my favorite case makers. What I do like about this film is they actually made it fairly well for recovering and not chipping or pulling when putting on other cases, even other cases from different manufacturers like the SupCase. We can see that it's still on here without any problem. It may be really hard to see because we're talking a very thin film. It's not like a tempered glass or anything, obviously, because of the curvature of the actual watch. But you know what? These watches, especially like this one, because of its curvature, I just always feel like I'm knocking into walls or door frames or something, so I like putting a film on it just to make sure I'm not scratching something that I look at daily. So there's the films. It works great. On to another Ringke item is their slim cases. They offer multiple slim cases here. So this pack comes with a black or clear. I'm just going to bring out the clear one because it's the only one I haven't opened yet. So nice thing about this is it's completely clear. So say you have the black model, or even like this, the silver and black, you'll still be able to see that nice design, as well as being able to put this on and have a slim profile but a nice covering still. The only thing I will say, and this kind of goes for any of these cases, this one of course is for the exception, just how it indents a little bit more, but the crown may still be an issue for you. It can rotate easier in this one than the Caseology, because the Caseology is a little thicker, but you're still impacting, any case you add will impact to the crown movement. But as we can see here, if I open my watch and go to notifications, I can still scroll through notifications without any problems, and I can still do that with the crown as well. You see, it just takes a little bit more of an adjustment to get it. So just keep that in mind. If you really, really love the crown and that's an absolute deal breaker, you might not want to get something like this. Let's go through a couple other cases here, either from Caseology or Spigen. These, of course, are just different ones again as well, from a more rugged to slim profile as well, just like Ringke had. It just gives you some options. So let's open this. So this is the liquid air style. This is a model that's pretty similar with Spigen in most of their cases they make for watches or other phones. And it's where they basically, it's a very thin type device, just offering enough cover and protection, but not adding a lot of bulk. So we can see that all you have to do is, and the nice thing about this is it's still leaving it completely open for bands to be installed, because this is just adding cover to the actual watch itself, not adding a band to it as well. So we wouldn't want to restrict that. So again, like usual, I find it's easier to go crown first in on any of these coverings. It just makes it easier to get everything on. And there we go. And so we can see with this one, it has a little bit of a gap for the crown to rotate a little bit. So they considered trying to find a way to still get the crown to rotate. We can, of course, scroll through the menu still, or we can rotate the crown. Pretty easy. This is just another option. The next one from Spigen is what they classify as the Thin Fit. Thin Fit is typically even a thinner design than the liquid air. The liquid air is a more rubberized like material, where the Thin Fits are always just pure plastic. Myself, I like the rubber finish, especially on watch cases or watch. This kind of rubber as well. It's more comfortable than just solid plastic. We'll see here, this one just pops in right from the top, so this is an easier install on this one. again, start from the crown and go up. I just always find crown insert from the bottom and going up is always easier. And what I do really like about this one is, see, they've completely left the crown open. So honestly, this probably is my preferred one that's just a case on the watch. So we can see here the crown is fully rotatable still, and now you get that nice case while not restricting like some of the other cases either from Spigen or Ringke or even Caseology do. And lastly here we have another case from Caseology, and we can kind of see this is similar to the other ones where we're going to have that mold around the crown instead of having it completely open. So let's see, on this one we'll have to take it from the top and then insert the crown of course first as well. This one is pretty good about getting in here as well. This one does seem like it still has a decent amount of clearance on the crown. Screen still working for touch input. Crown, I can get my thumb on the edge of it. It's a little harder, but yeah, this is another good option. This definitely adds a little bit more bulk or thickness. It's a good in between to the, you know, really rugged case from SupCase, but not as thin or plastic brittle as some of these clear cases or like the liquid air or the thin fit, which are both just pure plastic either depending on your brand. So out of all these, there is one thing left that I really like: a charger. Yes, there's actually a stand-up charger now you can get. You just literally place your magnetic charger in here. It routes through. It's literally just silicone, and then you just set it on there, and I don't have it plugged in at the moment, but it would just start charging. So nice way to set up your watch, especially if you've got one of these bands like this, for example, or one of the other default Google bands that lay like this and you can't get it flat on the charger. This works way better for charging. These are all the options that I found available right now that I find the best for any case options for the Pixel Watch. If you'd like me to cover more watch bands specifically, I can certainly do that. This, I think, I will probably be my main sports work band. It's just rugged enough to protect the screen, and with the screen protector on it, it's just enough not to be bulky during workouts. I definitely like this. I'll probably keep this around for any crazy outdoor activities or adventures, you know, maybe even trips. Kind of like this, just make sure I don't have to worry about the watch at all at any point. And then from there, you know, on a day-to-day business case or an office formal, I probably still won't have any protection on it. If I would put any protection on it, it would probably be this very thin one from Spigen that offers full access to the crown. I do like this, that they built a way to not restrict the crown. So I like that a lot too. But of course, the winner for protection on the screen definitely has to go to Ringke. That is it for case accessories, watch case accessories and protection. If you have any questions on any of this regarding the Pixel Watch, want me to go over anything else with the Pixel Watch, leave some comments in below, and I'll see you in the next video.